has an out-of-body moment. He sees his own body from above. When the domain reverts back to white, he sees hundreds of Gokus. 1,000. No, 100,000 Gokus. Zama stands in the center, and a Goku is seen coming at him from every direction. Yes, literally every direction is Goku. He is, for a moment, so fast that he hits from every possible direction around Zama. So fast that all the punches seem to land at the exact same moment. That's right, Goku lands an omnidirectional punch. It hits Zama from every side simultaneously, and at full intensity. Zama grins, but blocks and evades these punches. He evades all but one. Somehow, Goku's last punch, which had zero power or intensity behind it, lands right on Zalama's right cheek.
You pulled it off, kid. Ironically, your weakest punch yet is what finally hit. I guess I was still underestimating you.
Zama laughs. Goku collapses to the ground and reverts back to his base state. Haha, I guess now you'll have to teach me your primal instinct.
What do you mean? What you just did was primal instinct,
Zama reveals. Wait, really? But I don't even know how I did it. I mean, it felt like I was watching my body move on its own, Goku explains.
That is fine. Knowing will only hinder your growth. You know, strength is a weak word. What does it even mean to be strong? Everyone gives a different answer, but remember this, Goku. The greatest strength is forever incomplete.
Zama extends his hand to Goku.
If you'd like, I want to spar with you again.
Hey, thanks, man, I'd love to. Goku grabs Zalama's hand and gets up. I was getting tired of waiting for Lord Beerus to wake up, or for Broly to mature. By the way, you never introduced yourself. Who are you? How are you this strong? Goku asks. He cannot stop smiling from excitement.
Ah, yes, my bad. I haven't introduced myself, have I? I am Zama, the dragon god who created Super Shenron. My creations have been wary of you ever since your wish to revive planet Vegeta.
Zama answers the question. What? You're the one who created Super Shenron? Goku almost falls over from surprise.
I understand why you're shocked, but there's something more relevant than what I am in this multiverse, Zama continues. Listen, Goku, or should I say Monkey King. Before I became the Dragon God, I was the previous great sage equal to heaven, the Dragon King. And the place you're standing on right now, the one I call my domain, is the universe that existed before the multiverse. It is my homeland.
As Goku falls over from surprise, two shadows begin to appear behind them. First is a dragon coiling across the endless white horizon, and then is a monkey reaching up toward the sky. Perfect visual representations of Zama the dragon and Goku the monkey. So you're saying I'm a king too? The Monkey King? Like Sun Wukong from my grandpa's favorite storybook? I see. So there's a connection after all.
Seems like your grandpa has a very prophetic sense of humor. You see, Son Goku, when you were reborn, your path was already chosen, Zama responds.
Chosen? By who? Goku asks. He is clearly confused.
By you, Zama replies. That is why neither the Grand Priest nor I know where your path ends. Only you know the conclusion. But conveniently enough, you're missing some very important memories, aren't you?
Goku rubs the back of his head and lets out a long, heavy sigh. Yeah, I can tell I'm missing some memories. If you know what they are, can you just tell me?
I'm afraid no one, not one person in this entire multiverse knows the exact context of the memories you're missing, Zama answers.
What? Not even the Grand Priest? He was giving off vibes like he was on to me. And then there's the whole thing with Zenchan being asleep. I'm not used to thinking this much. I wish Piccolo was here. Goku starts rubbing his head even harder. Zama watches him and lets out a small, friendly laugh.
Yes, the Grand Priest doesn't know either. No one will until you mature. Think of it like this. Just as your power is limited by your young body, a part of your mind is locked until you grow. The missing information is waiting for you to mature. Zama continues. And don't worry about the Grand Priest. It's in his best interest to see you become the person you were at the moment before your rebirth.
I'm still not sure I get it, Goku admits. I remember my old life, sure, but I never heard of this great sage stuff until recently. And now you're saying you're also a great sage?
Zama looks at him with a hint of sentimentality. Would you like me to tell you a little bit about my universe, Goku?
Yeah, were you the strongest guy there? Goku's eyes light up as he asks this question.
What do you think?
Zama asks him back. Goku shrugs his shoulders. Who knows? There was a time when I thought Frieza was the strongest, but then I learned that there's always a stronger fish out there.
Zama laughs a little. The saying is bigger fish, Goku. Though yes, you are correct. I am the strongest of my universe. But would you believe that when I was young, I was just an average low-class Namekian?
I knew it! You're a Namekian! Goku grins. You remind me of my Namekian friend Piccolo. I guess that's why it's so easy to get along with you. But what do you mean by low class?
Zalama answers. It means that I, by every definition of the word, was weak. I could not even win against fellow Namekians, let alone anyone actually strong. I had a friend who'd spar with me from time to time, but I'd lose every time. At that time, my only goal was to surpass him, and then become the strongest Namekian, so that I could participate as the Namekian representative in the intergalactic martial arts tournament. It used to be a major thing back in my universe.
Oh, martial arts tournaments and stronger guys were a huge part of my early life too. Actually, to be honest, it feels like they've been a huge part of every stage of my life, from when I was a kid until now. And most definitely also in the future, Goku adds.
I always loved martial arts, and was looking forward to becoming the strongest Namekian, so that I could participate in that tournament. But then my friend beat me to it. He became the Namekian representative, but can you imagine how well he performed once he got there?
Zalama asks. Did he lose to someone even stronger? Goku responds.
He was defeated in the first round, and that too with a single punch. His opponent was a young warrior named Hercule from the west area. And guess what? A warrior named Nuja from the east casually defeats Hercule in the second round. You see what I'm getting at, right? The strongest guy I knew was one-shotted in the first round, and the guy who one-shotted him was then casually defeated by another guy.
Yeah, Goku nods. It's always so cool when your perspective on strength is suddenly changed just like that. I bet that's why you're so weird about words like strong and weak. But hold on, what do you think? What if I fought Hercule and this Nuja person you mentioned?
Zalama lets out a big laugh. What? You're more curious about a what-if scenario than about my universe or how I became the dragon god?
Goku goes with a stupid look on his face.
Zalama gives a small smile. All right then. I will answer your question. Yes, you could defeat them. In fact, if the current you, even in that young body, was in that tournament back in my day, you would have won the whole thing.
Really? Goku says as he tilts his head. Though I bet Hercule and Nuja kept training. At their absolute peaks, they must have been way stronger than I am now.
No, not quite, Zalama replies with a somewhat detached, serious expression on his face. Hercule and Nuja never even cracked the top 10 of my universe, Zalama explains. And honestly, not even those top 10 fighters are relevant when it comes to you. No mortal in my entire universe ever reached a level that could compare to your power. Even when I was in my prime as a mortal, before I matured as the great sage, I still wasn't as strong as you are right now. You already possess a level of strength that should be impossible for any mortal, let alone a low-class Saiyan warrior. After all, you've already learned primal instinct.
Goku looks down at his small hands and sighs. I see. So I'm too strong for Nuja and other guys from your universe. And here I was thinking that it'd be cool if I get to fight them.
No, it is not possible, Zalama replies slowly and continues. I am the only one from my universe who still exists.
Yes, you mentioned that, Goku says. But isn't there the other world of your universe? I remember when I was dead, we had this thing called the Otherworld Tournament, which was hosted by the Kais.
You still don't understand, Zalama declares as he gestures to the endless horizon. Let me spell it out for you. This eternal white is all that remains of my universe.
Goku hears this, takes a moment to process it, and for the first time since the conversation started, he gulps.
Good. It seems you're finally beginning to understand.
Zalama sighs. You mean everyone and everything from your universe is permanently gone? Just like that? Goku asks as he looks around the white void. He tries to imagine what must have once been.
Zalama nods. Back in my day, my universe was the only universe. It is said that the multiverse was created because the Supreme Demon King asked the Supermajin Rymus to do so. And while that is true, it wasn't the first time it happened. Long before this multiverse existed, we're talking about an amount of time that is impossible for a mind to even grasp. Majin Rymus created the very first universe. He did it purely for his own amusement. You can call it Universe Zero. Zalama's voice drops lower. It existed before all others, and it ceased to exist when it was returned to zero.
Hold on, who is Majin Rymus again? Goku asks. And by Demon King, do you mean Dabura?
Don't think too much about the names, Zalama sighs. Just keep hearing me out.
How did it end up like this? What do we mean by return to zero? I think I heard something like that in a very weird dream a while back. Goku asks and looks around at the endless emptiness.
I see. So you caught a small glimpse of your lost memories in a random dream. Well, a return to zero means exactly what it sounds like. Rymus created the universe, but after some time he felt it had turned out differently than his original vision. He wasn't happy with the result, so he decided to wipe the slate clean and return that entire space back to zero, Zalama explains.
Goku is beyond confused. There are visible question marks around him now, but he still somehow manages to gather his thoughts and speaks up. Okay, I feel like I understand. Your universe became white like this because of that Rymus guy. I remember when Zenchan erased Trunks' universe. It didn't exactly become like this, but it did become cloudy everywhere. Maybe Rymus used a power of destruction similar to Zenchan's.
No, what happened to my universe is different. There's no before or after left, and you'll understand that if you think for a moment. Think back to the wish your comrade made after winning the Tournament of Power. What was that wish? Zalama asks.
Goku thinks for a moment and goes, Aha! 17 asked Super Shenron to bring back the erased universes. Wait, why don't you ask Super Shenron to revive your universe? Ha! You're the one who created Super Shenron and you never even thought of doing this?
Zalama facepalms. It's simply not possible. There's no proof of my universe's existence except myself and my dragon, Super Shenron. Not even the ancient records of the Demon Realm speak of its existence.
Goku scratches his head and looks even more confused. Okay, I still don't understand why a wish like that's not possible. Super Shenron can do anything, right? No wish is beyond its power. And wait, if Rymus did all that to your universe, how did you and Super Shenron survive?
Well, never mind the mechanics of why a wish like that shouldn't be possible. Let me answer your second question. You see, Son Goku, if this endless white void is what's left of my universe, then Super Shenron is what became of my universe.
Zalama looks out into the distance and continues.
Back when Rymus made his decision to end everything, I was no longer that weak boy I told you about. Even though I started as an average low-class Namekian, I had already spent tens of thousands of years in the restless pursuit of strength. By the time the end came, I was called the Dragon King, the strongest being in my entire universe. I had reached a level where I was considered equal to the heavens. Because of that, the universe itself had granted me a special authority to defy the heavens as the great sage.
As Zalama says this, the scene cuts to what happened at the end of Zero Universe. Reality itself frays at the edges as the cosmos of Universe Zero begin to warp and bleed, and floating in the heart of it all is a less refined Zalama. He's face to face with Majin Rymus.
It's not too late, Zalama yells. We can fix this. There has to be another way. Just stop already.